On the day of my baby's first birthday, I was filled with happiness until my sister announced her engagement in the middle of the celebration and my whole family shifted. I need to get this out before it destroys me completely. Today was supposed to be perfect. My daughter Emma turned 1. My beautiful innocent baby girl who deserves so much better than the father she got. But I'm getting ahead of. Let me tell how I became the kind of man who could everything good in his. It started 6 months ago at my company's annual conference. Sarah had just given birth. Emma was 4 months old. Sarah looked exhausted constantly. The romance, the spark we used to have, it felt buried under diaper changes and 3 a.m. feedings. I told I deserved this work trip. A break, 3 days in Chicago away from the crying, the chaos, the responsibility crushing my chest every morning. That's where I met Jessica from the Denver office. Blonde hair, bright smile, no wedding ring. She laughed at my jokes during the networking mixer. Made me feel like the man I used to be before I became Emma's dad and Sarah's tired boyfriend. Seem stressed? Jessica said, touching my arm during the hotel bar conversation that went way too late. Just new parent stuff, I replied, but I didn't mention Sarah by name. Didn't show pictures of Emma on my phone. Let Jessica think whatever she wanted to think. The next night, she knocked on my hotel room door with a bottle of. I should have said no. Should have thought about Sarah at home. Probably awake with Emma, wondering why I hadn't called like I promised. Should have remembered the one who carried my child, who trusted me completely. Instead, I opened the door wider. Nothing happened that night. Just talking, drinking, sitting closer than we should have. But the emotional line got crossed. I told Jessica things I should have been telling Sarah. About feeling track old. About wondering if I'd made a mistake having a baby so young. Jessica listened. Understood. Made me feel heard in ways Sarah couldn't anymore. When I got home, Sarah was waiting with Emma in her arms. Both of them smiling, excited to see me. Sarah had bought a welcome home daddy banner. Emma had learned to wave while I was gone. I hugged them and felt nothing but guilt. But also resentment. Why couldn't Sarah be more like Jessica? Why couldn't our conversations be that easy anymore? Jessica and I started texting. Just work stuff at first. Then personal things. She became my escape from the sleepless nights and endless responsibility. I could see again. She texted one evening while Sarah was giving Emma a bath. Me too. I replied, deleting the message thread immediately after. The emotional affair escalated over 3 months. Video calls when Sarah was asleep. Long text conversations while I was supposed to be working. Secret social media accounts to stay connected. I convinced it wasn't real cheating. No physical contact. Just friendship with someone who understood me. But my behavior at home changed. I became distant, irritable. When Sarah tried to initiate intimacy, I made excuses. When she wanted to talk about our future, I shut down. When she suggested couples activities, I said I was too tired. Been different since that work conference, Sarah said one night after putting Emma down. We're okay. Are we okay? I looked at her concerned face, her tired eyes, her genuine love for me written in every worried expression. I'm fine, I lied. Just work stress. She believed me because she trusted me completely. That trust felt like another weight on my shoulders. Then Jessica got transferred to our local office. Suddenly she was 20 minutes away instead of across the country. We should grab coffee and celebrate, she suggested, just as friends. I knew it wasn't just coffee. Knew it was the moment everything would cross from emotional betrayal into something Sarah could never forgive. I met her anyway. The coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into walking around downtown talking until midnight. And then in her car, looking at her face in the streetlight glow, I made the choice that destroyed everything. It lasted maybe 10 seconds, but in those 10 seconds I became a cheater. I became the kind of man who betrays the mother of his child. I became someone I'd always sworn I'd never be. I should go, I said, pulling away, panic setting in. This doesn't have to be complicated, Jessica whispered. Sarah doesn't have to know. But I knew. And that knowledge burned in my chest during the entire drive home. Sarah was asleep when I got back, Emma's monitor glowing beside the bed. I stood in the doorway watching them, my perfect family, and realized I'd just thrown a grenade into our. The guilt ate me alive for weeks. I became even more distant, more irritable. Started picking fights over small things. Came home later from work. Anything to avoid Sarah's loving gaze that made me feel like that I'd become. I'm worried about, Sarah said during one of our increasingly rare conversations. Seem unhappy. Do want to talk to someone. Together. I don't need therapy, I snapped. I need space. Her face crumpled. Space from what? From us? I couldn't answer because the honest response would have destroyed her. Meanwhile, Jessica kept texting, kept pushing for more meetings. The emotional affair was spiraling back into physical territory and I was too weak to stop it. Everything came to a head today. Emma's first birthday party. Sarah had been played decorations, a custom cake, invitations to both our families. She was so excited to celebrate our daughter's milestone, to have everyone together. This is going to be perfect, she said this morning, adjusting Emma's birthday outfit for the 5th time. I can't believe how fast this year went. I forced a smile, the secret of my betrayal sitting like acid in my stomach. The party started beautifully. Emma in her high chair, face covered in cake, giggling at the singing. Sarah glowing with maternal pride, taking pictures of every moment, our families laughing and celebrating. I watched Sarah throughout the afternoon, seeing her through clear eyes for the first time in months. She'd lost the baby weight, was wearing a dress I'd always loved on her. She kept touching my arm, including me in conversations, trying to bridge the distance I'd created between us. Thank for this, I whispered to her during a quiet moment, for making today special. She smiled, hope flickering in her eyes. We're a good team, aren't we? My phone buzzed. Jessica, missing today. When can I see again? I stared at the message surrounded by everyone I loved and realized how completely I'd sabotaged my own happiness. That's when my sister Lisa stood in the middle of Emma's gift opening. Sorry to interrupt, Lisa announced, grinning widely. But Mark and I have an announcement, and went quiet. Sarah paused, a half-unwrapped present in her hands. We're engaged. Lisa shrieked, showing off a massive diamond ring. The entire room exploded. Everyone rushed to Lisa and Mark, congratulating them, examining the ring, asking about wedding plans. Emma sat forgotten in her high chair, cake still on her face, while her first birthday party became an impromptu engagement celebration. Sarah's face fell. Not from jealousy, but from disappointment that Emma's moment had been overshadowed. She looked around at our families, now completely focused on Lisa's news, and I saw her heart break a little. "It's okay," she whispered to Emma, cleaning cake from her chin. "Day is still special, sweetheart." But the damage was done. The rest of the party became about Lisa's engagement. Emma's birthday became a footnote to the bigger, shinier news. Watching Sarah handle it gracefully, seeing her prioritize Emma's feelings over her own disappointment, realizing how she'd poured her heart into making today perfect only to have it hijacked, I finally understood what I was about to lose. This woman, this incredible mother, this person who loved me unconditionally despite my recent coldness and distance, I was about to destroy her for someone I barely knew. After everyone left, Sarah sat on the couch holding Emma, both of them exhausted. Wrapping paper everywhere, dishes piled in the sink, the house quiet after hours of chaos. I said, sitting beside them. Sarah shrugged. "It's okay, Emma won't remember, but I will. Her first birthday party will always be the day her aunt got engaged." The sadness in her voice broke something inside me. My phone buzzed again. "Jessica. Again. Can we talk tonight? I have something important to tell." I looked at Sarah holding our daughter, both of them depending on me to be the man they believed I was. And I realized I had a choice to make. Tomorrow I would either confess everything to Sarah and face the consequences, or continue down this path that would inevitably destroy our family anyway. But tonight, watching Emma fall asleep in her mother's arms while birthday decorations hung around us like the remnants of innocence, I finally understood the weight of what I'd done. This is part 1, the confession, the consequences, and the price of betrayal are still coming. If want the rest of this story, let me know. But trust me, it gets so much worse. 3 days have passed since Emma's birthday party. 3 days since I realized I was standing at the edge of a cliff about to take my family with me. I didn't sleep that night, just lay there listening to Sarah breathe, watching Emma's chest rise and fall in her crib through the baby monitor. My phone kept buzzing with messages from Jessica, each notification feeling like a nail in my coffin. By morning, I'd made my decision. I was gonna end it with Jessica and never tell Sarah what happened. I'd live with the guilt, but I'd save my family from the pain. I was such an Jessica's important news she wanted to share. She'd quit her job, taken a position at a company 5 minutes from my office. She was moving to be closer to me. Surprise. She said when I met her for what I thought would be our breakup conversation. "Now we can see each other whenever we want." My went cold. "Jessica, we need to talk. This thing between us, it can't continue." Her face fell. "What do you mean? I thought we had something special." "A daughter. I made a mistake." "A mistake?" Her voice got sharp. "Is that what I am? A mistake?" I tried to explain gently, tried to let her down easy. But Jessica wasn't interested in easy. "Pursued me," she said, tears forming. "Made me fall for it. Can't just decide or done when it gets inconvenient. I'm sorry. I never meant for it to go this far." "Well, it did go this far. And I've rearranged my entire for." She stormed out of the coffee shop, but not before saying something that made my stomach drop. "Don't think this is over." I should have told Sarah that night. Should have come clean immediately instead. I convinced Jessica would cool down and move on, that I could handle whatever she at me. The started the next day. Texts at all hours, calls during important meetings. She showed at my office building, started commenting on old social media posts that Sarah could see. "Who's Jessica?" Sarah asked casually one evening, scrolling through her phone while Emma played on the floor. She liked a bunch of photos from last year. My heart stopped. "Just someone from work." Sarah kept scrolling. "She's pretty." That night I blocked Jessica on everything. Changed my work schedule to avoid her building. Thought I'd solved the problem. I was so wrong. Jessica found Sarah's social media. Started liking all her posts, commenting innocent things like, "Emma is adorable." Each notification probably felt friendly to Sarah. To me they felt like threats. Then Jessica got creative. She sent flowers to my office with a card that said, "Thanks for the wonderful evening. Can't wait for more. Jay." My coworker handed them to me in front of half our team. "Sacred admirer," he joked. I them away immediately, but the damage was done. People were talking, making jokes about my side piece. The gossip reached Sarah through her friend Michelle, whose husband works at my company. Michelle mentioned someone sent flowers at work. Sarah brought it over dinner, trying to sound casual, but I could hear the worry underneath. "Client appreciation thing." I lied smoothly. "Know how it is." Sarah nodded, but I caught her watching me differently after that. More carefully, more suspiciously. Jessica wasn't done. She started showing at places Sarah and I went together. The grocery store where we shop every Saturday. The park where we take Emma. Our favorite brunch spot. Always alone, always looking surprised to see us. Always making small talk like she was just being friendly. "It's so weird," Sarah said after the third coincidental encounter. "She seems nice, but don't think it's strange how often we run into her." I agreed it was strange while my hands shook with panic. Then Jessica escalated. She sent a friend request to my mom on Facebook. Started commenting on family photos, including ones with Sarah and Emma. My mom, always social and welcoming, accepted the request and began responding to Jessica's comments. "Coworker Jessica seems lovely," Mom mentioned during our weekly phone call. "She said such nice things about Sarah and the baby." I felt sick. Jessica was infiltrating my entire world, getting closer to the people I loved, all while playing innocent. The breaking point came last Tuesday. I was working late, trying to finish a project, when Sarah called crying. "There's a woman at our door," she sobbed. "She says she knows she wants to talk to about something important. She won't leave." My entire body went numb. "What does she look like?" "Blonde, pretty. She says her name is Jessica. She seems upset about something." I was already grabbing my keys. "Don't let her in. Don't tell her I'm coming home." "Why? What's going on?" "Her scaring me. Just please. Trust me, I'll be there in 10 minutes. The drive home was the longest of my. I knew this was it. The moment everything exploded. The moment my lies caught with me. Jessica was still on our porch when I pulled Sarah visible through the window holding Emma, both of them looking terrified, and leave. I told Jessica. "Now. I just want to talk to her." Jessica said, "She deserves to know what kind of man she's with." Don't know anything about what she deserves. I know told me weren't happy with her. I know said felt trapped. I know me and meant it. Sarah opened the front door. She'd heard everything. The look on her face, I'll never forget it. Confusion shifting to devastation in the span of seconds. Is this true? She whispered. I looked at the two most important people in my Emma in Sarah's arms, both of them staring at me with different expressions. Emma with innocent trust. Sarah with dawning horror. Sarah, I can explain. Is it true? Her voice was stronger now, demanding truth. Jessica smiled triumphantly. Tell her about Chicago. Tell her about all our late night conversations. Tell about that night in my car. Sarah's face crumpled. She understood without me saying a word. Get off my property. She told Jessica, voice shaking with rage. Both of. Get away from my daughter. Sarah, please. She stepped back inside, started to close the door. Just don't. The door slammed. I heard the lock click. Then silence. Jessica looked satisfied with her destruction. Well, that went better than expected. I don't remember what I said to her next. Something angry and final. She drove away, her work here complete. I sat on my own front porch for 3 hours calling Sarah's phone over and over. It went straight to voicemail. Finally, around midnight, she opened the door. Her eyes were red and swollen. Bah, she said quietly. Go stay somewhere else tonight. We'll talk when I'm ready. Sarah, please let me explain. Another woman had an affair. Let her come to our home and terrorize daughter's mother. What exactly do you want to answer for that? One bag, she repeated. And leave key. I packed in silence while Emma slept, Sarah watching from the hallway like I might steal something. When I finished, she was holding Emma, both of them in matching pajamas. I loved, Sarah said. I trusted completely. I would have done anything for. The past tense of loved hit me like a physical. I know, I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. Sorry doesn't take back the lies or the betrayal or the fact that let that woman come here and scare daughter. She was right. Emma had been crying when I arrived, upset by the stranger at the door and the tension in the house. What happens now? I ask. Now leave, and I figure out how to explain to our daughter why daddy doesn't live here anymore. Emma's forehead. She smiled at me, completely unaware that everything was broken. I love both, I whispered. Then should have thought about that before decided we weren't enough. That was 6 days ago. I'm staying at my brother's place, sleeping on a couch that smells like his dog, eating takeout every never learned to cook properly. Sarah won't answer my calls, won't respond to texts. My mom called yesterday asking what happened because Sarah had blocked her on social media too. I made a mistake, I told mom, a really big one. Well, fix it. Mom said. Whatever it is, apologize, exit, but some things can't be fixed. Some mistakes are permanent. I drove by the house yesterday, saw Sarah loading Emma into the car. Probably gonna playgroup or the grocery store. Normal continuing without me. Sarah looked tired but determined. Emma was babbling happily in her car seat, oblivious to the fact that her family had imploded. They looked like they were managing fine without me. That realization worse than anything else. My coworkers are asking questions I can't answer. My friends want to know why I'm suddenly single. Everyone assumes Sarah and I just grew apart, or had irreconcilable differences. Nobody knows the truth, that I destroyed my family for someone I barely knew. That I weigh everything good in my for a fantasy that lasted 3 months. Jessica texted me yesterday. One message. Then. She blocked me too.